This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
Hey everybody, it's your old pal Rob. Now, again, I'm going to ask some forgiveness here. I'm going to try to get through this the best I can. But I have been struggling breathing, and as you know, I have COVID pneumonia, and I am on the better side of it. So it's just going to take some time, my oxygen and all that stuff. But what I really want to talk about is I did a playthrough on Sunday of a game that was a Kickstarter, and that is Mutant Chronicles Siege of the Citadel. Now there's a couple of reasons I did it. Number one, I'm a fan of the old 1993 game. Number two, I saw somebody do it and kind of, goof off, and that's fine. They can do whatever they wanted to do, but I don't think they did doing a playthrough. They didn't do the game honor, the honor that it deserved from a great designer such as Richard Board, who's been around for how many years? Countless thousands of years. And of course, this is a game that I bought secondhand. Now, I didn't realize that it was this huge Kickstarter thing and that it was going on with this 5-year thing. But what this really did was, when I started looking at all the comments, because after I played it, everybody was like, well, there's this, there's that, there's this, there's that, there's this, Kickstarter, but. And I've heard Kickstarter stuff over the last week, especially with a couple other games that are really great, but things happen. So it brought up this thing where, is it Kickstarter's fault or is it our fault for backing all this stuff? How Kickstarter gets used, the hype train that goes with Kickstarter. There are certain sites that just pretty much do Kickstarter things where you're going to say, oh my God, this is coming out. I'm going to back this because... And then you see these incredible miniatures and all this other stuff. Okay? And you get hyped up and you take your money and you put it down. And then when it comes in, those same channels are going, well, this is why I'm going to get rid of this Kickstarter. You don't know what you're going to get. And one of the biggest things with Kickstarter is it was to fund people's projects that they have an idea for. And whether you want to back them and help them make that process, all intentions good. But as you know, over the years, there have been scams, there have been things, there's been delays, some delays up to 5 to 6 years. Hey, there was a game that I was looking forward to, and holy cow, it came out, and I was disappointed and stuff like that. Now, you're talking to somebody here that has never backed a Kickstarter, ever, for anything. I always wait for it to come out, and I pay extra on eBay or secondhand market, or I hope that they come out with a retail version, and I don't end up with all the stuff, and sometimes I chase down the other stuff, and sometimes I don't. The reason being is, with this channel, and trying to fund this channel myself, I don't go and take my money and go, well, I can wait 3 years for this. I don't take $500 a month or something, budget it for Kickstarter, and sit there and pledge managers and go, okay, I've got 27 things that I'm waiting for. I need stuff now. I need the stuff that when it comes retail, I need to get it in here. I need to get it up on the camera for you guys to see it. And then I need to get it going. And if I keep it, great. If I don't, that's also fine as well. So I don't know the histories of a lot of these games. Now with Morpheus here and Mutant Chronicles Siege of the Citadel, all I remember is the original game that Richard Board did. I did not understand that there was a 5-year journey with this whole thing. Now, can you forgive this company? They are bringing it out and sending it to people. But I've gotten things, I've waited 4 years. But I think you guys know, and And I think it comes to a point where some of the blame has to go, where originally a lot of people I heard go, well, you got to have money to burn and pretend it doesn't go there. But when it doesn't go your way, the first thing a lot of people are doing are screaming, well, they didn't come through, it's dragging out, this, that, the other, oh my God, this, that, and the other. But you put your money out there. And at the beginning you say, oh, hey, you got to pretend the money's not there. Okay, eventually it's going to come in, and it did came in. Mutant Chronicles has come in. I like the game. Now for me, I went on the secondary market, excuse me, and I was able to bring it in. And I like what I got. I didn't know the history. Some people say they're getting moldy figures. I didn't run into that. Some people say that I waited too long for it. I didn't have to. I went and did that. So there's this awful disconnect sometimes. When the Kickstarter doesn't work the way you hoped it does, a lot of people complain about it. Now, a lot of channels, and listen, this isn't a cut on them. I think they're all great and they do some great things. They really do. First of all, they introduce you to a lot of different Kickstarters, and they search for ones that are coming out, and they put them in front of you, and they go, oh my God, look at this from Company X, because I don't want to name companies. They have all these beautiful miniatures, and people get hepped up. It makes them $1 million or $2 million. The game comes out, it's not good. It's all miniature based, okay? But there are gems out there too, okay? There's delays, there's things like that. There's a lot going on over the last year and a half that I think you have to also be forgiving to some companies because of the shipping and all that other stuff, that unexpected charges that when they ran these Kickstarters, they did not expect all this stuff to happen, as well as this awful disease, which I'm suffering from, excuse me, and how that has affected, shipping, production, all this other stuff. Yeah, I think we have to shake some leeway. The other thing is, I hear a lot, is that the overwhelming complaint that some of the bigger companies use it as a pre-order. Well, is that not... I mean, which do you want here? Okay? If they can use it as a pre-order, okay, and be able to give you more stuff and things like that, and also put out a retail version, isn't it the same as you backing some unknown little independent project in a way? No, maybe not. But you have security because you know that massive company, even if they're delayed, they're going to deliver it, they're going to bring it to you, and you are going to get it. It's taking that money, like you said, and securing your copy as the same as you would some independent company. Now, I know I've spoken with a recent... I went crazy for Chronicles of Drungor. Forgive me if I butchered the name. And I went the highs and low. The game, I love the game. But for me to get that game, because it was Kickstarter exclusive, I paid through the nose. And I had a chance to talk to the designers because they reached out to me. And what wonderful, passionate, and beautiful people they are. Okay? And I really feel for them. Okay? Because they got messed up in this whole COVID machine. And on top of that, with all the embargoes and this, that, and the other, that was another added expense. Here's a brilliant, beautiful game by men that are intelligent and smart and made something that I'm very passionate about and very excited about. And they just went through not being a big business, trying to get their business going, and struggling because I don't know if it's struggling as much as just getting hit with the unknown. And that's another thing that you have to look at when it comes to the Kickstarter machine. The unknown. When you are taking and putting your faith into whether it's a card game, because I just don't want to hit on the whole miniature thing the whole time. Okay? Even though that miniature thing really is kind of funny, because the bigger the game, a lot of times it seems like the rules aren't there. And then you get these channels that go, well, I brought it in, and this is why I'm not keeping it. Well, how does that help you guys? Okay? You're taking chances on unfinished projects that you do not know that you're going to get. The reason I always wait for retail is because then you get a flood of really good videos that people have it, you get a feel for it, and then you bring it in. There's been some real surprises out there. There's a couple that I'm trying to hunt down now. Then I'm like, okay, they're coming. I've got my cash in my hand. I don't have my cash floating out in the middle of nowhere, wondering if, well, it's projected to be out in October. Okay. Now, have I done a lot of videos for Kickstarters? Yes, because I do support the Kickstarter process. I believe it works when it's done correctly. Okay. And when people, have an idea going in, it really comes down to the people that you surround yourself. Okay. You can't know everything, but you have an idea. You have something that you're very passionate about. And you go out, and I know this video is all over the place, but you got to forgive me because my train of thought isn't very good either. But when you go out and you have this idea, you got to have people that have had experience working on these particular type of things. Okay? That are going to help you get closer to the finish line. Listen, if something says slated for December 2021 and it comes out February, March, are you that upset? No. Communication. That's a big thing. Has the company given you good communication or no communication at all? How many times have there been no communication? So it's a risk in so many different ways, and you are playing Russian roulette and you spin it and you wonder, okay, is this the one that I'm going to miss out on? Is this the one that's not going to come? And what kills me is I go into a lot of these games, wow, that looks interesting, and not knowing it's this big Kickstarter thing, but I see it on eBay, or I see a video or something, somebody promoting the game when it finally comes in, and I don't have a history of it, and yet I get overwhelmed with comments going, well, it took this, this was a disappointment, this company blew this, they did it wrong. This same company came out with a game that we're going to be talking about, 5 parsecs from home, okay, which is incredible. And yet this Kickstarter, I've gotten a lot of comments going, oh, it's been a nightmare. It's either been love or hate for it. And they went through a lot of different things that put them through it. This isn't to point them out. There have been a lot worse. Hey, there have been a lot worse. A lot of disappointments, a lot of people that ran off with money and have really burned a lot of backers. When you go into Kickstarter, and if you say, I'm going to take my money and I'm going to put it out there, then you really can't complain if you don't get what you get, because you take that risk, unfortunately. Has Kickstarter become a lot better than its original incarnation? I think so. But it does help and do a lot of great things for a lot of independent minds that are trying to get into this business and provide you with a beautiful experience. Like Chronicles of Dungor, which have just been off the rail. Veil Wrath, which I hope to get very soon. There's a lot of little things that you just go, wow, there is just some magic out there. And there's been a lot of clunkers. It's a risk you take, and it's something. Do you blame it on Kickstarter? No, they're doing everything that they can to make it right for you. Can you look in the mirror and say, hey, I've got 25, 30 projects out there, and I do know people that do that. Is it time for me to scale back and maybe wait a little bit? Or do I end up being like Rob and get stuck in that scalper's market, which you don't want to get stuck in with the Kickstarter exclusive games? There are games that just come out for Kickstarter, and they do very successful. They do a great job. You're never going to see Kingdom Death Monster on somebody's shelf. You'll see the huge line at Gen Con though. Fantastic company, done everything right. All right, they are rock stars. There's no other way to put it. Okay, there are great people that have done fantastic, wonderful things, and there's done clunkers. There's good and bad in everything in life, folks. But this Kickstarter, you know, when it's amazing how much I don't know about it. But there are channels, like I said, that are very good, that are dedicated, that do their best. But also, you know, their job is to show you everything that comes out on Kickstarter, get you hyped up. When a lot of times they don't even know themselves, unless they have a relationship with the publisher and they can get like a prototype or something like that. But even then, it's not finished. The rules aren't finished. Heck, I've done plenty of those here. Okay? And try to help people fund on Kickstarter because I want to see people successful. I do. Because the more success people have, the more stuff for me to bring in here and share with you the fantastic public that and community that I have. So it makes me wonder at this point, you know, I mean, who do we blame? We can sit here and get upset about things, but we got to understand that going forward, that there is going to be more of this delays, because over the last year and a half, as you know, what we've been going through, we are going to have problems, and there are challenges that companies are going to have, in addition to the challenges that they face just doing this on a normal basis. Remember, a lot of times when you are going into a smaller Kickstarter, you are going into an idea, not a finished product. And I really think that you need to hear this and really try to comprehend when not comprehend, but when you go to do your next project or fund your next project or back your next project. I think all in all, take a look at three things. Number one, do they have any experience at this? Number two, does this seem like, who are these people? What kind of, is their idea half finished, an idea, or finished and needs funding to make it happen? And then finally, you have to take in consideration, as we are getting all back on our feet again, some of the challenges and road bumps, and are you willing to wait for it? And can you take that money in this type of economy, which is, you know, the economy is always shaky, but can you take that money and get that you may want in 2 years from now? Or are you really looking forward to some of the things that might be coming out now? Okay? So there's a lot of variables. I would like to see a couple things happen. I also like to see that a lot of these games go retail, to give, you know, even if it's a smaller version of it, that people get a chance to play some of these exclusive yet beautiful games, instead of letting the scalpers buy them all up and then, you know, hurt people. You know, $99 game for going for $400. It's not the publisher's fault. It's not Kickstarter's fault. It's the way of the world sometimes. Sometimes it only funds enough where you can get so much. There's an additional cost, and they don't get a chance to print enough. And I've had that happen to a couple dear friends, and I'll tell you, you know, I'm going to do everything in my power to try to help them be successful and get that, so you can get some of these fantastic experiences. So, is it us? Is it them? Or maybe it's just the system in general, where no matter what you do, you're going to find some kind of loophole, and there's always going to go something wrong. But if you put your money out there, just know that it's uncertainty. So don't, I can understand being upset, but you did take the risk. And I don't want to see any of you get hurt. But when you put your money on the dotted line there, you don't know whether it's going to come out in your favor or it's going to come out in the negative. A lot of times, more often than not, it comes out in your favor. But You're going to run into a clunker every once in a while, and I don't think you got to take a look at your hit and miss chart and see how you did overall. And sometimes you just got to brush yourself off, like the old dog here. Get up and keep moving forward. So until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon. I would love to see your comments and what you think. Put it below. I'm always excited to see your thoughts because I learn a lot from you guys. Okay? Try not to be snarky either. These are just my thoughts. We'll see you soon, everybody.